So, you work for S. Graham and Associates Corporation.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you are S. Graham.
Well, I'm one of the S. Grahams. Me and my daughter work together.
Okay.
And she's also S. Graham.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college at the University of Hawaii.
Okay. And what degrees did you get?
I got a degree in what's called human development.
Okay. And what do you do as your job?
My job is a freelance court reporter. And in doing that, I do depositions in attorneys' offices. And also, I have a contract for the federal court in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Okay. And what's this?
Okay, and there are different methods of court reporting. And there's what's called stenotype, which is the machine that a lot of people are familiar with. There's also what's called a steno mask, and that's what this is. And we put this mask over our mouth and repeat. There's a microphone inside it, and we repeat everything that everybody says, and it gets recorded. It's also, we have a live mic going, and it's also recorded live, so we have two different things to listen to type up the transcript.
Okay. And what made you want to start your business?
Honestly, I have been working in the legal arena almost my whole working career. I've done legal secretary, paralegal. My husband was in the Coast Guard, so we traveled around, so I had to move a lot. And when we left Washington, D.C., we were coming to Elizabeth City, and I knew the job opportunities in Elizabeth City were very slim. So I decided, I was working as a paralegal at the time in a large firm in Washington, D.C., and I decided I would do court reporting. Instead, I was trained in this method of court reporting by the chief court reporter for the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. at the time, and I've been in business for 20-some years. So then that way, when we came to Elizabeth City, I was trained. I had to go to Raleigh and pass a test to become certified, and then I was able to work in the court reporting field.
Okay. And when you were my age and in high school, did you ever imagine that you'd be doing what you're doing?
No, I probably didn't even know there were court reporters.
What did you imagine yourself doing when you were younger?
Well, I really couldn't ever get very focused on deciding on a career, and I went to work very early as a typist it was a civil service job in St. Louis, Missouri. So it was a good, for that time it was a really good job. So I did that, and then we moved around a lot, so it was really difficult for me to establish a career or profession with all the moving that we did.
Okay, and do you have any advice for someone my age that would be interested in starting their own business in the future?
You got to be a really hard worker. It's not easy. It takes a lot of energy. One of the things about court reporting that has worked out well for me is I've always said that I liked a little bit of everything, and I was not focused on anything, but in court reporting that has turned out to be kind of a good thing, because you need to know a lot about a lot of things. It's kind of like the more varied your background is, the better it is, because you will know the words. it's very, you really need a super duper big vocabulary so that when you hear a word, you at least sort of know what it is and about. And it's much easier nowadays with the advent of the internet where you can Google things and find things. When I first started, you had to have a shelf full of dictionaries. You had to have medical dictionaries, construction dictionaries, all different kinds of dictionaries. And if you didn't know what something was, you had to literally, I have gotten on the phone and called boat builders and said, this is the word, this is what it sounds like, and what is it? And they would tell me and how to spell it, and and over the years, it's amazing how helpful people were. They never turned me down when I called to ask crazy questions like that. They were always willing to help. And I used my husband for aviation technology and parts of planes and boats and things like that, because it's pretty amazing the different variety of things and words you hear.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.